Now, 65% of Kenyan businesses have expressed confidence that their revenue will increase in 2025, while a concerning 60% of businesses have indicated that they do not plan to expand their workforce. This is according to the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry 2025 Business Barometer report released earlier today. According to the report, high taxes, levies, and unaffordable government policies are top challenges for businesses in 2025. Now, our reporter Sophia Ali is at the release. Good afternoon, Sophia. What can businesses expect from the report today?
Thank you so much for joining us today here at Serena. Stakeholders from different sectors in trade and economics are convening in order to unveil KNCCI 2025 barometer report, where in the report we have seen some of the highlights that have come out is the unemployment rate in Kenya and, traders and who are not willing to, to employ more. And with me is Kiplimo Kigen from KNCCI, who is also the policy and researcher at KNCCI, who's going to walk through us some of the highlights on the report. Kiplimo, thank you so much for joining us. Could you kindly talk us through some of the highlights that has come out from the report?
Thank you for having me. Today we are launching the KNCCI 2025 Business Barometer Report. And this report is forward-looking, so it measures the expectations of business people in 2025. We did speak to close to 2,000 businesses, or 1,981 businesses. And some of the highlights coming out is that businesses are indeed optimistic about the growth of the revenue in 2025. 65% of the businesses that we spoke to are expecting their revenue to increase in 2025. However, we still see a very bullish outlook when it comes to matters unemployment. We are seeing that 60% of the businesses that we engaged are not expecting to hire people in 2025, which is a serious concern. That means that if you walk into a room where there are 10 businesses, 6 of those businesses are not looking to hire in 2025. If anything, they're looking to let people go. And, when there is unemployment, when the workforce is not working, that means that our productivity as a country is affected, and it affects the overall growth of our economy and access to opportunities. Some of the things that need to be focused on is one, when it comes to deductions on payroll, because the businesses have to match those deductions, and those deductions are become an expense on the businesses. We've seen a recent wave of deductions, with SHA, SHIF, affordable housing. We've also seen recently NSSF. So if we need to put a halt on that so that we don't increase the cost of running a business, which then allows for the opportunity for businesses to hire more. Some of the areas that we as the chamber also will be looking to support businesses in 2025 is access to markets.
Kindly, could you please take us through some of the highlights from today and, some of the key takeaways from you?
Thank you, Sophia. So the report that we had today was delving into the business barometer and pretty much focusing on the micro, small and medium enterprises sector. The report had shown us some positives that we can pick and also some of the challenges that they're facing. Some of the positives that they're facing is that there's some optimism for some of the businesses that they can be able to grow some revenue. 65% of the businesses are expecting to grow, to have some higher revenue over the course of this year. But on that note, also there's some challenges that yet at the same time they are not able to expand because of one reason or another. So those are some of the sticky points that came out of this report. There's been some challenges around credit mediation to the private sector. Looking at the statistics up until November last year, 12 months up until November last year, we've seen that even the credit that was sent to the private sector shrunk by 1.1%. So even amidst what we had seen, the measures done by the Central Bank of Kenya to reduce the benchmark rate by 1.75% has not fully transmitted to the banking sector. So it will take some time before we see the effect of the lower CBR filtering through the banking sector. And that is where the banks, the businesses can now be able to position themselves.
Thank you so much. So there is Churchill, the economist, who has also expounded to us some of the issues that are causing some of these businesses not to perform and even higher, as even the unemployment rate continues to grow in this in the country. So there you have it. Access to financing has been the major point of view today. Sophia Ali for KTN.
Thank you very much, Sophia. And that report right there from businesses who naturally have capital is one side of the story, and the other side is, young people need to be creative. Most of the time, young Kenyans are very creative in what they do. And this is one. A Class 8 school dropout and a motorbike mechanic from Migori has amazed many by inventing a tractor using a motorbike. Now, Joseph Juma, a determined innovator from Kilo Village in Uriri sub-county, stunned many by inventing a tractor using a motorbike, motor vehicle spare parts from scrap, and a generator engine. During an interview with KTN, Juma said that he has been a motorbike mechanic for over 25 years and has previously made a three-wheeled motorbike for persons with disability. Juma says that the invention was driven by the need to cultivate his farm despite lack of cows for plowing.
Pikipiki ya walemavu, hii ya miguu tatu mimi natengeneza hapa Uriri. Sasa hii nilikuwa na akili ya kutengeneza hii tinga ya kulima juu sina ng'ombe ya kulima. Haya nilikuwa nataka nilimie hii. Hiyo ndio mpango nilikuwa naye. Kwanza kitambo kidogo nilikuwa na fikira, yani nikilala na kuweka na ndoto ya kutengeneza hizi. Sasa nikifikiria nikiamka nazichora. Sasa niko nazo kwa nini? Sasa nikichora nachora kidogo kidogo. Nakumbuka nitumie injini gani, naiangalia, naenda kwa duka naangalia kama hii nilikuwa nimeangalia, nilipata huko Kisii kwa duka. Nikaenda nikauliza bei. Akaniambia, na sikuwa na hiyo pesa nikarudi. Sasa vile nilipata pesa nikaenda huko. Nikaichukua.
Tunaomba wenzetu pamoja na serikali yetu wamsaidie huyu jamaa kulingana jinsi tunavyomuona. Yeye ni mtu mlemavu. Anafaa apate msaada, anafaa asaidiwe.
Well, by now you have already heard or seen something about Shell and their V-Power, stories going around about how clean the fuel is. Now, Shell has strongly rebutted recent allegations of contamination in its premium V-Power fuel, asserting that its fuel undergoes strict quality control measures throughout production, storage, and distribution. The statement came after claims surfaced that V-Power might have been compromised, prompting questions about its reliability and performance. Sophia Ali again with this report.
After Shell's premium petrol V-Power was questioned for its quality following an octane test by an automotive blogger, Tanuki Garage, now Vivo Energy, the exclusive distributor and marketer of Shell's products, says their product is inadherent to rigorous quality standards.
There is a method that we have for testing fuel, and that method has to be followed. It's an ASTM method. One of the conditions prescribed in that method is chilling of the sample. It has to be preconditioned, meaning you cannot just pick a sample randomly and just start testing it when it's warm, it's in room temperature. So that's one of the conditions.
One of the quality concerns raised involved the research octane number RON of V-Power fuel, which determines its resistance to engine knocking, a critical factor in the engine performance. To address these concerns, Vivo Energy invited media representatives to visit their laboratories, where we were shown firsthand how fuel quality is tested. This was in response to independent tests that purportedly showed irregularities in the fuel's RON.
We've invested also in step-by-step testing. For example, when the product is imported and gets to Mombasa, we have a set of tests that we do before pre-discharging it into the depot. Then once it's in our depot, before releasing it for loading it to the market, there is another set of testing that is done.
Despite Shell's reassurance, some customers remain skeptical. The company, however, reiterated its commitment to transparency and announced that it would continue to monitor the situation.
Differentiation for us means putting in an additive that boosts performance and makes it different from the ordinary fuel.
In the face of ongoing scrutiny, Shell remains confident in the integrity of its products and systems, encouraging customers to continue trusting in the high standards of its V-Power fuel. Sophia Ali, reporting for KTN.
Now, the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation is in the process of coming up with a 5-year strategic plan aimed at revamping the agricultural irrigation sector and ensuring food security in the country. The Principal Secretary, State Department of Irrigation, Ephantas Kimoto, said the National Irrigation Sector Invented Plan is currently undertaking nationwide public participation while outlining a roadmap towards realization of tapping the great agricultural potential in the country, particularly in the ASL areas.
We've developed NISIP so that we can support the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. And the particular document that we have developed so far envisions development of over 1 million acres under irrigation. The plan also has a plan to has a total costing of approximately 1 trillion, and because of the amount expected, the plan is supposed to run all the way to 2030. Many a times are when the schemes are done by the government, but after a short while, they go back. The farmers have again come back knocking to the doors of the government again to do the rehabilitation. So towards addressing that challenge, that's why we are trying to look at how we can enable the farmers by giving them a market linkage and a finance linkage.
Now, climate change has severely impacted the girl-child education in rural areas, exacerbating existing barriers such as poverty and gender equality, forcing many families to prioritize survival over education. In response, Media Citizens from a non-profit organization is equipping young pastoralist girls in Wajir with knowledge and skill to combat climate change effectively. Speaking at Senior Chief Andano Girls Secondary School, CEO Abraham Rashid said that the mentorship initiative, which also saw the planting of 100 trees, marked a significant milestone in ensuring that the future generation are well equipped in safeguarding their environment and build a sustainable future for the communities.
Discuss the crucial role of young girls in combating climate change, fostering their understanding of its daily impacts, particularly on their educational pursuits.
On climate mentorship program, our students who experience climate change at the first hand are gaining the tools and the confidence to face this challenge. Climate change is no longer distant, as already stated. Its effects are especially felt and evident in our pastoralist region.
Change is not a distant threat, it is a present reality. Here in Wajir, we witness its effects, prolonged droughts, unpredictable rainfall, and challenges to our livelihoods. But while climate change is a challenge, it is also an opportunity to take charge, to educate, to innovate, and to protect our environment.
Well, that story does it for business. Coming up next is sports with Jeff Mogire. My name is Kelley Boss.